Sandie, I just wanted to start we talked about it in the chat in New Skin Live, and forgive me if this is a bit of an indulgent question, but I am in awe of you as a trailblazer, because I don't think we appreciate how much Sandie achieved and has achieved at a time when, let's face it, times were different then. There were lots of successful women, but not as many as there are now. And you had a family, and you did everything else that we're all trying to do with our lives these days. How does it compare to now, do you think, in terms of the opportunities, but also the constraints and the responsibilities? Do you think it's easier now?
I think it's easier in some ways. Yes, I think it's easier in actually many ways. If you think about how much easier it is for you to reach out when you're home to your contacts. Before, I had to, of course, go everywhere, and we'd go to a mall, we'd go to a grocery store, pretend to be shopping, and then just pick people up by talking about what we were doing or talking about our products. So it's much easier in a way, because you have the environment of social media, which can expose you more. We also have a lot more products to share. You guys haven't even tapped some of the 13 original products, because sometimes I'll say, have you done a facial lift system yet? And no, I haven't tried that. Well, it was really what this business was built on, was half-face demos of the facial lift system. So if you haven't tried it, try it. Because we've got amazing products in our lineup. I'm so proud that we're introducing all these great things, but we also have wonderful support products underneath that. And being a mother, it was my first responsibility, and so Nu Skin became my second kind of baby, and I've watched it grow, and it's been amazing, the developments that have happened, and it's so much easier to raise children now because of all these benefits.
Yeah. Did you come across many challenges? Can you remember those?
Oh, sure. There were 1,000,001 running out of product. We used to always run out of product of everything, pretty much. And there are still some markets in the world where product is scarce. Argentina, for instance, we have people becoming team elites with maybe 5 products in their product mix. So, there are still obstacles to overcome in different places. There's probably obstacles in your market as well, but there'll always be obstacles. And, you just have to basically duck your head and charge, ignore them, or jump over them, or figure out a solution for them. I'm not one to be too upset about whatever happened in the past. I can barely remember any negative things. It's kind of a bad thing sometimes. Because they'll say, do we know that person? They're not very nice. Oh, I kind of forgot.
Actually, that's a good point, because I read one of your interviews, and you said that you talk about this is one of your quotes, Sandie, bad things happen to everybody. It's really what you do with adversity that separates us. Another great saying. So how do you replace those negative thoughts with positive actions?
Because I value peace. I value my inner peace. I value my outer peace. I value peace. So if you value something, you do a lot of things to achieve it. One of those things is I'm my own boss, but I'm not the boss of anyone else. So if other people decide to make other choices that are different than mine, it's okay. They're the boss of themselves. I've said this to my children often, and other people say, what do you mean? And I said, well, because they are the boss of themselves. I'm not the boss of them. They've got to learn how to make decisions, how to grow this business, how to do everything their way, because it'll be comfortable for them. And it'll be something that they can embrace, and it'll be something that they can share as well. But everybody doesn't have to do it the same way. I've got 4 children. If I'd have raised them all 4 the same way, it never would have worked. Each one of them was unique and different.
And as you mentioned earlier, they are involved in the business.
Yes.
And that must make you very proud.
I am. My son Derek in particular just returned from a year sabbatical from Nu Skin. You know how you were talking about leaving? He took his, he's a million MTC, is that what you call it? MDC, $1 million? Yeah, MDC earner. And, and he sold his home and traveled the world with his family for a year. And they visited 33 countries, and He lived his dream. And if I think about it, that's what you want for your children. You want them to be able to live whatever dreams those are. When he was little, I never would have projected that dream. Oh, he's going to go do this. No. They have dreams beyond what I could even dream of. And it's so exciting to see people achieving their dreams around the world. You know, I was in, where was I? I don't know. Oh, Bahamas. No, Bermuda. And we were talking to distributors from South America. And one distributor in particular was telling me how she was able to change lives for $10 a day. Wow. And how she was able to teach girls like her that were cleaning houses for 12 hours a day and earning $10 a day to sell toothpaste. And how they were getting ahead at $10 a day. Now that's life-changing. And it's amazing how $10 a day, and here she was, another lady was there with her son. They'd never been out of their town, they'd never been on an airplane, and here they were in Bermuda celebrating mom's success. And there's this boy saying, thank you for bringing me on this wonderful trip. So we're exposing families now to the opportunity. Whenever I've gone pretty much anywhere, I've always tried to grab a family member to come along with me, because it's something for them to experience, it's something for them to enjoy, and it's something for them to participate in. Now, at first, my husband was anti-new skin. He hated new skin. My mother-in-law, Clara McDermott, said you could buy skincare in a gas station. There were problems in the beginning. I didn't have a lot of support. Now, we all know the happy ending of that story, because, you know, I was able to power through all that negative. How do you power through the negative? I don't know, you just ignore it. That's what I did. I just ignored their message, because their message had nothing to me. I knew what I wanted to do, and I believed in me. And every single one of you needs to have that same confirmation and belief, because no one else is going to believe in you more. No one.
Sandie, one of my favorite sayings of yours is work hard but work smart. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that, you know, you can go dig ditches and work super duper hard all day long. And that's okay if that's your choice. But if you're smarter than that, maybe you say, oh, well, that's not a good idea to do that all day. I could do this instead. So make smart choices with your time. Your time is your most precious asset. And anytime you have 1 second of, should I do this or should I do that, choose the thing that is motivated by love. Choose the thing that is going to progress your life. Choose the thing that's going to ultimately make you happy, even though it's the harder thing to do. Don't wait to be motivated to do something, because guess what? You're not motivated to do anything you don't want to do. It's the truth. Your motivation comes by doing it and then saying, look what I just did. That's where your motivation comes from.
Let's talk more about the kind of the power of doing good, because I know you believe in the law of abundance, the law of giving back, and that goes very much to the heart of New Skin, doesn't it? It's part of the philosophy. Why is it such an important life philosophy for you?
Well, I was brought up with the law of abundance. We didn't have a lot, but I always thought there was enough. And I thank my parents for that, because that was a gift. I never worried about the finances of things, because there's plenty in the world, and if we work hard enough and we work smart enough, that was my dad, you know, there'll be plenty for everyone, because the world is an abundant place. And the more you give, the more you get. And my parents always gave 10% to their church. And we were not rich. And I thought, gosh, that's a lot of money to be giving to the church. But that commitment to giving was the magic behind our family. It was the act of giving. It wasn't the amount, it's the act. Because the act has you realize that we are a common humanity, that I care about you and you care about me, and I have hope in you, and you have gratitude for me and my existence. It's as simple as that, and we do it through the opportunity, we do it through the product, and we do it through Nourish the Children and Force for Good. And I love teaching that principle because you go in certain markets where they just don't have a give back philosophy. Americans are, million and one charities. Not so, let's say, in an Asian culture. So you teach them how to give, and they embrace the magic of that more than you can imagine. And the power of duplication, of course, I can give $1, but if I have a whole big force giving $1, then the force is definitely with us. And I think that's what we have here is a force. You could give it all away, but instead empower more people to have disposable income and encourage them to give as well. Much more powerful.
And that has... that has served you so well, hasn't it, throughout your life?
Yes.
Do you remind yourself of that every day? Do you kind of...
Oh, no, because I don't know. I love to share things. Let's say I have, a condo in New York that, thank goodness my dreams came true on that. Well, I love to share it with people because sharing is how you get the joy of it. If I'm sitting up there all day on that thing, isn't it cool? I own this condo. No, it's not cool. It's a waste. I've got to have people come and enjoy it and
Which is why you still do so much. You still travel the world, you're very involved.
I can't imagine sitting back and not visiting my children.
Well, traveling, like coming here and all over the world.
But that's where the family is now.
Yes,
they're spread out. My own personal family is all in Utah, so it's one-stop shopping there. But if I visit my New Skin family, they're across the globe. And we all have other founders are doing other things to support the family as well. But we're all very connected, and I know that they would love me to share their love because we talk about it all the time, how much we love our family.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Now, Sandie, you've always been very adamant, haven't you, that New Skin is the type of company that puts distributors, puts its entrepreneurs first. So why is New Skin the right company, do you think, for our audience, given that there are, let's face it, lots of other companies vying for attention out there?
Because we have a track record now. See, we could say that. In the beginning, we couldn't say that, but we have a track record of success. In the 34 years we've been doing business, checks have always gone out on time. Distributors are recognized as they should be. Products have been delivered. We've delivered on our promises whenever and ever possible. That's important. We're a company with integrity. I first partnered with a company that didn't have integrity, and that is the thing that motivated me to start New Skin. One of the things. I wanted to be partnered with someone with integrity that wasn't going to go away 18 months from now, and I would have built an organization and a family with people I trusted, and it went away. And we've also coupled that with amazing products. If you use these products, you're going to feel good. And that's pretty cool because a lot of people don't look good and they don't feel good. And so we have the answer for that. Financial freedom, well, you're sitting on that, and how many other people get to say, I'm in charge of my hours, my days, I'm in charge of everything I do. You are your own bosses. I think that's the most amazing. I love being my own boss. I love being the boss of me, because good decisions are my fault, and so are bad ones.
Yes.
Nobody else's.
It's really good philosophy. When we were talking to Mark on New Skin Live, he talks about 600 products. I mean, it's a huge portfolio, isn't it?
I'm hoping I've used all of them. I don't even know, because every once in a while they come out with some face thing on Instagram. I'm like, hey, I don't have that. I don't have a black Lumi, but I'll wait for you to all have one before I ask for mine.
No, you have to get in quick, Sandie.
No, I'll let them all have one.
How important is it to keep innovating and keep pushing ahead with these products?
It was exhausting at one point, but I'm so glad now that we have this team. I mean, the first 13 products we named and produced and did everything, just basically two of us. So the team that we have, the scientists we have, everything, couldn't be more excited, because I use everything. I got to keep looking good.
Well, you do look good.
I'm working on it.
There's no danger of that not happening. And one final question, really, Sandie, for people who are watching in the audience today. can they achieve the levels of success that you have? And if so, how do they do it? Do you believe?
Oh,
that they
absolutely, because like I said, how many people knew about Nu Skin? Nobody. We didn't have any of the tools that you have, and look what it's grown into 34 years later. So you each have that possibility. Every single one of you just mathematically has that possibility, and even greater so because we have more products and we have more people that are probably in a situation that are seeking a second income and wanting to stay home.
Well, that's a fantastic message, I think, to end on. A really big round of applause, please, for Sandie Tillotson.
Thank you. Thanks, Sandie.